back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we have a great show for you today. First topic we'll be covering is, like always, recapping the games of yesterday, both in the American League and the National League. Those will be the top two. Then after that, we'll be going into talking about the Cody Bellinger injury for the Chicago Cubs, and then finally talking about Players Weekend returning to the MLB. Now, before we do all that, I would like to ask you to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get into the show today. All right, so as I talked about, it's going to be what we usually talk about, going over the games in baseball yesterday, and then going into the two other topics. So let's start off with the games yesterday, and we're starting off with the American League. Yesterday we started off with the National League, just to switch it up a little bit, because I do give the American League usually the starts, but I wanted to switch it up yesterday, but today we're going to go with usual. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, the first game we have here is going to be Orioles and Angels. For this game, scoring would open up in the top of the third with a Gunnar Henderson solo home run to make it 1-0 Baltimore. Then, top of the fifth, Adley Rutschman would add on for the Orioles, making it 2-0 with an RBI single. Then, Jorge Mateo in the top of the sixth would hit an RBI double, a ground rule double as well, to make it 3-0 Baltimore. Then a Gunnar Henderson RBI single would make it 5-0, and Ryan Mountcastle would ground into a double play, but score a run home to make it 6-0 Baltimore. So it was top of the sixth at this point. 6-0 Baltimore looked to be done. This game looked like, Baltimore was in the driver's seat, but not so fast. The Angels would start to come back, as in the bottom of the sixth, Mike Trout would hit his 10th home run of the year. What a resurgence season he's having already, to make it 6-1, and then a Taylor Ward 2-run home run to make it 6-3. Bottom of the eighth, Zach Neto would come in clutch with a solo shot to make it 6-4, his first of the year as well. And then Logan O'Hoppe in the bottom of the ninth would hit a RBI ground ball to make it 6-5 Baltimore. So the Angels would get close to scoring this game, to tying this game. I mean, they kept scoring all these runs, but after that, with a man on first and 2 outs, Joe Adell was caught stealing second base, and that would be the end of the game. So a really controversial end there. Unfortunate way to lose to the Angels, but they put up a good fight against a really good Orioles team, which is really all you can ask for them. For the Angels, they had on the mound Tyler Anderson. He went 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a 1.78 ERA in the season. Had a really good start there. I think he's had a really impressive start to the season overall, something that's really not been expected, I'd say. So really good job for him. And for the Orioles, they had Dean Kramer on the mound. He went 5 1/3 innings pitched, giving a 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts, a 4.61 ERA in the season. So an okay start there. The 10 strikeouts is really nice, but just a good win for the Orioles all around. They scored early and they didn't flinch when they gave up some runs at the back end of the game. So really nice win there for them. Going to the final series of this Red Sox and Guardians series, final game of the series. It would be all Red Sox, as in the top of the first, Warrior Ryu would hit an RBI double to make it 1-0. Connor Wong in the top of the second would make it 2-0 with a solo home run. Rafael Devers would do the same in the top of the fifth to make it 3-0. Connor Wong would hit another home run to make it 4-0. A Cedena Rafael RBI single would make it 5-0. A Rafael Devers ground rule double would make it 6-0. An Emmanuel Valdez sacrifice fly would make it 7-0. And a Connor Wong RBI single would make it 8-0 Boston. And that would be it for the game, as Boston would end up winning the game 8-0. Guardians would not score in the entire game, only getting 4 hits to Boston's 16. So just an offensive barrage there. Really great job by them. Connor Wong as well had a great game. So yeah, just good things all around right now for the Red Sox, and just a great game by their offense. The Red Sox had on the mound Cooper Criswell, who was really phenomenal. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. More of a bulk reliever guy. He started the game yesterday and was, again, really fantastic. 5 innings pitched. Just a really great start by him, controlling this Red Hot Guardians offense. Really, really great job. Really impressive. For the Guardians, they had on the mound Carlos Carrasco. 5 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 3 home runs. Not a good start at all. 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. Not really what you want, but I think Carrasco was bound to come back down to earth eventually, having the great start that he did for Cleveland. I think at some point he was going to come back down to earth and be 2024 version of himself. So I still think he's a solid depth pitcher for this year, but we knew he wasn't going to keep having the season he was having currently. So Next game we have is going to be Tigers and Rays. Scoring would open up in the top of the first, where a Spencer Torkelson RBI ground ball would score Riley Green to make it 1-0 Detroit. Bottom of the first, Randy Arozarena would hit a solo home run to tie it up to make it 1-1. Bottom of the second, new Ray Ben Rortvedt would hit an RBI double to score Harold Ramirez to make it 2-1 Tampa. He's had a really strong season since coming over there. Jose Caballero would hit an RBI single to make it 3-1, and Johnny Diaz would make it 4-1 Tampa. So a really great job by the Tampa offense. Mark Canha, though, in the top of the fifth would get the Tigers a little closer with an RBI single to make it 4-3, scoring Javier Baez and Jake Rogers. Top of the sixth, Buddy Kennedy would hit an RBI single to score Matt Vierling to tie up the game at 4. So really nice job by the Tigers offense to be resilient and just not give up. Javier Baez would get the big blow for the Tigers as he would end up giving them the lead with an RBI double in the top of the sixth to make it 5-4. Then a Ben Rortvedt RBI single would make it 5-5. And then a Curtis Mead 2-run shot in the bottom of the sixth would make it 7-5 Tampa. A really great job by the Rook to come and clutch there and give them the lead, and they would end up winning this game 7-5. So really nice job there. Going for the Tigers, they had on the mound Jack Flaherty, who was decent. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 6 strikeouts, no walks. You definitely need to be better than this. He's just been very mediocre since coming over to Detroit. I kind of expected that to be, but I think the Tigers were expecting a little bit more out of Flaherty. So if I'm Flaherty, I definitely want to improve a little bit, and I definitely want to get it going more. So for the Rays, they had an opener on the mound, Sean Armstrong. Then after that, Tyler Alexander was the bulk guy, going 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Just an start, not really anything too crazy on each side for the pitching, but the offense is really the story here. Great job by both offenses to just really hit the ball well and be really good. So next game we have here is going to be A's and Yankees. Yankees looking to win the series against the A's. The A's looking to win it against the red-hot Yankees. Bottom of the first, Aaron Judge would hit his 4th home run of the year to score Juan Soto, making it 2-0 in the early parts of the game in the bottom of the first. Bottom of the fourth, now Anthony Volpe would hit an RBI triple to score Austin Wells to make it 3-0 Yankees. Bottom of the fifth, in the same inning, bottom of the fourth, Juan Soto would hit a sacrifice fly to score Volpe to make it 4-0. Then in the bottom of the fifth, Anthony Rizzo would hit a solo home run to make it 5-0 New York. Top of the sixth, Brent Rooker would come in very clutch for the A's as he would hit a 3-run home run to make it 5-3, getting them right back in this game. But Juan Soto would enter right back for the Yankees, hitting a solo shot, his 6th as a Yankee, to make it 6-3 New York. Bottom of the seventh, Alex Verdugo would get another run on the board for the Yankees, more insurance for them, making it 7-3, and that is where the Yankees would end up winning this game 7-3. So really nice job not folding against this not tough opponent in the A's. Just a good, solid win for them. For the A's, they had on the mound Joe Boyle, who went 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Not a good start, kind of it. For the Yankees, they had Clark Schmidt, who went 5 1/3, giving up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a home run. So pretty solid start there, I'd say. Not really. You don't really want to give it 3 earned runs in 5 1/3 against the A's, but it wasn't horrible, and wasn't that bad. So, but you can always improve, and I think that's what Schmidt's going to be working on for next time. Next game we have is going to be Blue Jays and Royals. Scoring would open up in the bottom of the first with a Salvador Perez RBI single to score Bobby Witt Jr. to make it 1-0. Then in the bottom of the second, Michael Garcia would hit a RBI single to make it 2-0. But George Springer would answer back for the Blue Jays, hitting his 3rd home run of the year to make it 2-1 Kansas City. Bobby Witt Jr. would get that run right back for Kansas City, hitting an RBI single to make it 3-1. Then an Ernie Clement RBI ground out would score Dalton Varsho to make it 3-2 Kansas City. So Toronto within 1, but after that they would not score for the entirety of the game, and that would be it, and the Royals would end up winning 3-2. The Royals had on the mound Alec Marsh, who was decent, 4 1/3 innings pitched, no earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. You'd like to see more strikeouts, and you'd like to see him go deeper into the game, but no earned runs, I think you take that. James McArthur got the save for the Royals. Has been a really solid bullpen arm for them now for almost 2 years. Just a really solid guy out of that bullpen. For the Blue Jays, they had Yariel Rodriguez. He went 4 innings pitched, giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts on the day. Rodriguez has been pretty decent so far, going 11 innings, giving up a 3.86 ERA. Maybe a little bit better in the future, but right now I think that's pretty fine. After that, after the Blue Jays, you have White Sox and Twins. Scoring would open up in the bottom of the second with a Christian Vasquez RBI single to make it 1-0 Minnesota. Then a Willie Castro 3-run shot to make it 4-0. Top of the third, though, Kevin Pillar would answer back for the White Sox, his first home run as a Sox to make it 4-1. Then Corey Lee second to make it 4-2. A Brendan Schumacher steal of home would make it 4-3. White Sox, they would get closer, but Max Kepler would end up getting the Twins some runs with a RBI single, and then he would score on a wild pitch by Davy Garcia to make it 6-3 Minnesota, and that is where they would end up winning this game. So just a really nice win by Minnesota, trying to get back on track for the season. No better team to do that against than the White Sox. Sox had on the mound Garrett Crochet, their ace. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Not a great start as a starter so far for his career. Still hoping he can pick it up, but don't want to see starts like that. But the Twins, they had Joe Ryan, who was solid, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. Pretty great start to the season so far, with a lot of the Twins pitchers kind of underperforming. I think Joe Ryan has been really solid and just a really good arm in that rotation for the Twins. Final game here we have for the American League is going to be Mariners and Rangers, a AL West matchup. Top of the first, Mitch Haniger would hit a RBI groundout to make it 1-0 Seattle, and that would be all that they would get for that game. Bottom of the fourth, Adolis Garcia would hit his 7th home run of the year to make it 1-1, and Evan Carter would hit his 4th to make it 2-1. Bottom of the sixth, Jonah Heim would hit a RBI single to make it 4-1, and an Evan Carter RBI triple would make it 5-1 Texas. So really nice job by the offense here, and a really nice job to end up winning this game and just get those runs on the board against this solid Mariners team, especially who's really good with pitching. Both the Rangers and Mariners have been mediocre this year, so nice job for one of them to kind of take the reins and win this game. Mariners had on the mound Bryce Miller, who went 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. I'd like to see the walks go down, but overall a solid start from him. For the Rangers, they had John Gray. He went 4 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 7 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 7 strikeouts, 2.92 ERA on the year. So really great start to the season by him. I was very skeptical about him being one of the main starters for the Rangers after all the injuries they suffered, but he's been doing really, really well, so got to give him credit where credit's due. And yeah, hopefully for Rangers fans' sake, he continues it. With all the injuries they've suffered, they're going to need him. They're going to need him and all the other guys in that rotation who are depth pieces to come in clutch and make good starts. Him, maybe even Johnny Cueto. He just signed Cody Bradford, who was placed in the injured list, but hopefully comes back soon. And Michael Lorenzen, who was signed a little while ago. So, yeah. All right, so that was the end of our first segment here, talking about the American League games of yesterday. We'll be going into our second segment, which, of course, is talking about the National League games, just recapping all the games in baseball. Very fitting to go from American League to National League. So, yeah, we go on to our second segment here. But we'll see you after the break. So thanks so much, and bye. See you after that.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our second segment, which is talking about the National League games of yesterday. Now, before we do that, I would like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get into our second segment of the show today. All right, as we talked about, it is going to be about the National League games of yesterday. We just did the American League, so it's only fitting to do the National. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first game we have on the agenda is going to be the final game of this Mets and Giants series. After a big momentum shift with the Mets winning 6 straight in Los Angeles and winning that series, they've lost 2 straight to the Giants, so they're hoping to get back on track with the series and get a win in this afternoon game. So scoring would open up in the top of the third for the Mets, with Francisco Lindor hitting his 3rd home run of the year, a 2-run shot to make it 2-0 Mets. Really nice job by Lindor to homer off a righty. Lindor has struggled a lot batting as a lefty this year, so a really good sign for the Mets that he is hitting a home run as a lefty. Top of the 4th, Tyrone Taylor would add on for the Mets with a solo home run, his 2nd of the year, to make it 3-0. Taylor's been a really, really solid bat since coming to the Mets and just been a really good player. Top of the 5th, Tyrone Taylor would hit an RBI double to score Pete Alonso and Brett Beatty to make it 5-0. Just as I said, Tyrone Taylor's been a really, really great player since coming to the Mets, a really great pickup, and just keeps showing why over there. Then Jeff McNeil would hit an RBI single to make it 6-0 Mets. They would just be running away with it at this point. Bottom of the 7th, Tyler Fitzgerald would get a run on the board for the Giants, hitting a solo home run, his 1st of the year. But Francisco Lindor would hit his 2nd home run of the game to make it 8-1, scoring Brandon Nimmo. And just, again, a great game by Lindor. 2 home runs for him. Just a really, really great job for a guy that's been struggling a lot with his batting this year. Looks like he's getting it going, and looks like he's finally getting that hot streak a lot of Mets fans are waiting on. Bottom of the 9th, Mike Conforto would reach on a throwing error by Pete Alonso, scoring Lamont Wade Jr., but it will be no match as the Giants would end up losing this game 8-2 to the Mets, and the Mets would end up getting 1 game in the series. Giants would still win the series, so good job for them, but nice job by the Mets to snag the last game and leave on a high note. The Mets had Sean Manaea on the mound against his former team. 4 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. A Mets pitcher has not touched the mound of the 7th inning the entire year so far. So while the pitchers have been good, Severino's been good, Manaea's especially been good, you need to get some more depth. You need to get some more innings out of your rotation. Manaea had a great start, no earned runs, but only 4 2/3 innings. You need him to go deeper into games. That's a problem. That is a problem for the Mets right now. Giants had an opener on the mound, and they had an opener all game. Ryan Walker, who went an inning pitch, only giving up 1 hit. Main guy was Sean Jelly, who I apologize for pronouncing that name wrong. I've never gotten his name right. He went 2 2/3 innings pitch, giving up 2 hits, 3 earned runs. Mainly the bulk guy, but still mainly relievers. So just kind of a opener game all the way for the Giants. So okay game for the Giants there. You definitely like to win it, but you still won the series, so it's not the worst thing ever. So actually, Francisco Lindor became the first Mets shortstop with a 4-hit, 4 RBI, and 2 home run game yesterday. So a great accomplishment for him. And just like I said, any hitting thing right now that Lindor has going on, I think is really good. And overall, just looking forward to seeing how he can improve his hitting throughout the year. But this is a really nice start. The next game we have is going to be Cubs and Astros. Bottom of the 1st, Michael Busch would hit a sacrifice fly to score Nico Horner to make it 1-0 Chicago. Then Dansby Swanson would hit a 3-run home run to make it 4-0 Chicago in the bottom of the 1st. The Astros would get some runs on the board in the top of the 3rd with a Jake Myers sacrifice bunt to score John Singleton. Then a Alex Bregman RBI single. Top of the 9th as well, Jose Altuve would hit 6th home run of the year to make it 4-3 Chicago. But the Astros still end up losing 4-3, and they would not score after that. Just continuing this rough year for the Astros. 7-18 now, 11 games under 500. I mean, man, oh man, they have been bad. Oh my goodness, they've been bad. Nobody expected this. And I think we could be seeing the end of their dynasty right now. I don't know if I'm going that far because I think a lot of it has to do with injuries, especially to their pitching staff. But, man, they have really, really not looked good. And if I'm an Astros fan, I'd start to worry now. This is where I'd start to worry. They had on the mound Spencer Arrighetti, who again just has been awful this year. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 11 ERA on the season now. So has just not been what the Astros needed out of their depth arms in that rotation. For the Cubs, they had Jameson Taillon. He went 5 2/3 innings pitched, giving them 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, a 1.69 ERA on the season. So a really nice start and just a really great bounce-back season for Taillon. Had a really rough season last year with the Cubs in his first year there. So really nice job to bounce back and have a great season this year. Put in the work this offseason, and it's showing. Next game we have is Diamondbacks and Cardinals. Top of the first, Christian Walker would hit a sacrifice fly for the Diamondbacks, making it 1-0. But after that, it will be all Cardinals, as in the bottom of the sixth, Nolan Arenado would hit an RBI single to make it 1-1. Then a wild pitch by Jordan Montgomery would score Wilson Contreras to make it 2-1. Nolan Gorman would hit a RBI single to make it 3-1, and a Lars Nootbaar RBI double to make it 5-1 would end up winning the game for the Cardinals, as they would end up winning 5-1. The Diamondbacks had on the mound Jordan Montgomery, making his second start as a Diamondback. This one against his former team now in St. Louis. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 2.77 ERA in the season now. Great start by him. Nothing else to say there. Just a really solid start, and that's the Diamondbacks on him, to do really good starts like that. For the Cardinals, they had on the mound Kyle Gibson. He went 6 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Really solid start there. Hasn't really been that great this season, so getting a start like that out of Kyle Gibson, you better win it, and good job for the Cardinals that they did. Next game we have is going to be Phillies and Reds. Top of the first, Alec Boehm would hit an RBI single to score Trey Turner to make 1-0 in the first. Then top of the third, Alec Boehm would come in clutch again, hitting an RBI double to score Kyle Schwarber to make it 2-0. Boehm has been really, really impressive this season. Hadn't really lived up to his pedigree as a top draft prospect in the past few years, but has been really solid so far and has been really, really good. Bottom of the third, Will Benson would hit a solo home run to make it 2-1 to get some runs on the board finally for Cincinnati, but the Phillies would answer right back with a Johan Rojas RBI single to make it 3-1. Bottom of the sixth, Santiago Espinal would hit an RBI single to make it 3-3, tying up the game. Really nice job by him, scoring in Christian Encarnacion Strand and Tyler Stevenson. So just a really clutch hit by him and a really good job. Will Benson would then hit an RBI single to make it 4-3 Cincinnati, and an Ellie De La Cruz ground rule double that would score Stuart Fairchild to make it 5-3 Cincinnati. And just a really great job by this Reds offense to come back from behind and end up getting the lead for this game. Whit Merrifield with an RBI double to make it 5-4, but Santiago Espinal would answer right back with a sacrifice fly to make it 6-4. Spencer Steer would then hit a sacrifice fly himself to make it 7-4, and the Reds would end up winning this game 7-4. So really nice win by the Reds against this good Phillies team. Reds had on the mound Nick Lodolo, who was okay. I mean, not really anything too spectacular, just was okay. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2.12 ERA in the season so far. So really, really great start to the season for him. For the Phillies, they had on the mound Spencer Turnbull, who was phenomenal. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Turnbull has just been fantastic so far this season for the Phillies. I mean, what a great signing he has been. It's going to be unfortunate that he's going to lose his spot in the rotation of Taijuan Walker, but Turnbull has been a really, really excellent signing by the Phillies, and hopefully he can get some more opportunities for this rotation. I think Phillies fans want it, and I'm interested to see if he can continue doing this. But a really great start to the season by him, and hopefully he does not lose his job. Next game we have is going to be Brewers and Pirates. The scoring would open up in the top of the third with a William Contreras RBI single to score Sal Frelick to make it 1-0. Then Rhys Hoskins would get hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to make it 2-0. And then a Blake Perkins walk would make it 3-0. Bottom of the third, Brian Reynolds would hit a 2-run home run, his third of the year, to make it 3-2. But after that, nobody would score, and the Brewers would end up winning this short-lived game 3-2. I say short-lived because it was really only exciting for the first half, and once it got past the third, nothing really went on. So for the Brewers, they had on the mound for this game Bryce Wilson, who was solid, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 run runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3.50 ERA in the season. Not the best. Again, you'd like to see him go deeper into games. I feel like I'm saying that with every single pitcher nowadays, but still okay, and didn't give up that many runs. It was an okay start. For the Pirates, they had on the mound Josh Fleming, who went 2 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 1 hit, 2 runs, none earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout, a 1.42 ERA on the season. Good job for the opener by him, and just a quality start overall for Fleming, and nice job to eat some innings for this Pirates team. Next game we have is going to be Dodgers and Nationals. Opening up this game now in the scoring would be top of the first with a Will Smith RBI single to make it 1-0. Then a Mookie Betts RBI single in the top of the second would make it 3-0. Nick Senzel would answer back for the Nationals, making it 3-1 with a solo home run. And a Joey Meneses walk with the bases loaded would make it 3-2. A Max Muncy RBI single would make it 4-2 LA, and then a Gavin Lux single would make it 6-2. And Andy Page's solo shot, his second as a major leaguer, would make it 7-2. A Shohei Ohtani double, his 13th already, crazy, would make it 8-2. Another Shohei Ohtani double would make it 9-2, and a Freddie Freeman RBI single would make it 11-2 Dodgers, and they would end up winning this game. Just an onslaught of runs at the end of this game for the Dodgers. Really nice job by them to beat this national scene that, again, has been their Achilles heel these past few weeks or so. So good job for them. They had Landon Knack on the mound, who, since being called up now, is a 3.27 ERA, and went 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. I didn't expect him to be a starter. I thought he was more of a reliever kind of guy, but he's been a really quality starter so far for the Dodgers, so props to him. For the Nationals, they had Jake Irvin. He went 4 2/3, giving up 12 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. So not a it was a bad start. 6 earned runs over 4 2/3, not what you want. I understand that it is the Dodgers, but at the same time, not really at all what you want to see from the Nationals, and just not a good start by Irvin. Next game we have is going to be Marlins and Braves. Scoring would open up in this game in the bottom of the first with Ronald Acuna Jr. scoring on a balk by the pitcher. Then Marcell Ozuna would hit an RBI single against his former team to make it 2-0 Atlanta. Top of the second, Jesus Sanchez would hit a solo shot, his second of the year, to make it 2-1. But Marcell Ozuna would answer right back with an RBI single to make it 3-1. Josh Bell in the top of the ninth would reach on a fielding error by Matt Olson, which would also score Luis Arias and Brian De La Cruz to tie up the game at 3. So really nice job by Miami to take advantage of this Matt Olson error and tie up the game. But in the bottom of the 10th, Michael Harris II would walk it off for the Braves, as he would make it 4-3, and winning the game, of course, with that RBI double. So nice win by the Braves to beat this bad Marlins team, take advantage of that, and hit a nice walk-off to get some spirits up. They had on the mound Reynaldo Lopez, who again was incredible. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. I'll give him credit. This experiment of turning him into a starter has really, really worked out, and he has been absolutely phenomenal since coming to the Braves. For the Marlins, they had Sixto Sanchez on the mound as the opener. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Not really what you want at all, but Sixto's not really a starter anymore, not really a guy that comes in at the start, so I'm not going to blame him too much. It was mainly just the bulk guy, but really didn't perform there as well, but hopefully he can perform better in the future. Final game we have here is going to be Padres and Rockies. In the top of the first, Ha-Sung Kim would hit an RBI double to score Xander Bogaerts and Fernando Tatis Jr. to make it 2-0 San Diego. And a Jackson Merrill sacrifice fly would make it 3-0 San Diego. And a Yugi Rodriguez RBI single would make it 4-0 San Diego. And then in the top of the sixth, Jackson Merrill RBI grounder would make it 5-0 San Diego. So really nice job by this offense to start the game like that and just really, really score. In the bottom of the sixth, Ryan McMahon would hit a solo shot to make it 5-1, and Elias Diaz would do the same to make it 5-2 in the bottom of the eighth. But he'll be no match, as the Padres would still end up winning this game 5-2. They had the knuckleballer Matt Waldron on the mound, who went 6 innings pitched, giving him 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Really solid start to the season so far. Hopefully he can bring the knuckleball back to baseball. I think that'll be really, really exciting and just really, really fun. The Rockies had Ty Black on the mound, who went 5 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 4 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, no home runs. And that start for him in Colorado against an offense like the Padres, I feel like that's the best you're going to get. So, not really complaining. That will be it for our segment 2 today, talking about the National League games of yesterday. Going into our third segment, we will be talking about the Cody Bellinger injury for the Chicago Cubs and the impact that is going to have on the team and just overall. So yeah, be talking about that, and we'll see you after that. So thanks, and bye.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
And we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our second segment, which is our third segment, which is going to be talking about the Cody Bellinger injury for the Chicago Cubs. Now, this was something that actually broke on air yesterday, while I was on my show. I was going over my first and second segments, and I got notified that Cody Bellinger would be placed on the injured list with a fractured rib by the Cubs, and he would be out for a pretty significant amount of time, apparently. As Craig Counsell put it, he doesn't really know when they're getting him back, which, from a betting man, is not a good sign. It's not really something you want to hear from your manager. He doesn't know when he's going to get one of his better players back, so that's not great. And we also got the news they called up one of their top prospects and one of the top prospects in baseball, Pete Crow Armstrong, to fill in his spot. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk about this situation and Bellinger's injury impact on the Cubs, and let's get into it. So, with Bellinger, obviously he signed very late back to the Cubs. We were pretty into spring training at that point. Was part of the illustrious Boris 4 that I talked about every single day before the season started, because there was not much to talk about, and they were there. They were still on the market, so I talked about them. But got off to a little bit of a rough start with the Cubs to start the year after signing late, but was really heating up at the end before he got hurt. You look at his season stats now, they're pretty great. 760 OPS, 111 OPS plus. Really, really solid, I'd say, really good. Started off, again, just not in the best way, not really the way you wanted to. I think it was because of the pressure of signing late. He still did get some spring training, but not, I'd say, as much as other players or, most players, I'd say. So I think that was kind of on Bellinger's mind as well, that he didn't get as much of a time to prepare. He didn't sign before, so he didn't really know where he was going. He had to get back to Chicago, probably figure out a place again. He probably sold that place. He didn't know if he was coming back. But so I think all of that was an impact on Bellinger and the Cubs, and just the impact on the way he was performing. So, but now you see him getting more comfortable being back with the Cubs, getting more comfortable into the season, and you see his numbers start to go up. You see him having a 111 OPS plus, 760 OPS, being an above average hitter again. So overall, just a really nice job for him to get back and get back to being who he is and being back to Cody Bellinger. He's had a very, very up and down past few years, being really bad with the Dodgers since winning that MVP, going to the Cubs, having a great season. Teams not believing that the season was for real, so not getting a long-term contract and signing back with the Cubs on a short-term one. So, it's been a very interesting past few years for Bellinger, but it looks like he's finally found a home in Chicago, which is really nice. But this injury is very unfortunate. Again, he was starting to get hot. He's a big part of this Cubs lineup, and the thing about him is, even when he's not hitting, he still is going to play great defense. He still is going to be a leader in that clubhouse. He's going to give you good at bats. So his defense is one of his biggest strengths, and so even when he isn't hitting, he provides a lot of value. So that's why he is a really good player, and I think that's part of his allure as a player, part of why a lot of teams are interested in him, and why he is such a good player. So So I do think this is going to hurt the Cubs a lot. I think, again, Bellinger was a big part of their team, a big part of their identity. So losing him for, as we know of, an undefined amount of time, basically, we don't really know how long he is going to be out because of this injury. It is unfortunate, and it is something that you don't really want to see if you're a Cubs fan, and you were hoping not to see, but just kind of how things go. But the good news is you get to see Pete Armstrong now, and he gets to play every day because he is going to fill in Bellinger's spot. He is a center field prospect. One of the reasons I didn't think Bellinger was going to re-sign with the Cubs whenever I predicted the Boris 4 was because of Pete Armstrong. I thought Pete Armstrong was the Cubs center fielder of the future. I thought re-signing Bellinger would have blocked PCA, and that's why it would have made no sense to re-sign Bellinger and get him back. So that I think it just shows how high I am on Pete Armstrong, and it just shows how high other people are on Pete Armstrong, because this guy is legit. This guy is a top 20 prospect in baseball. He has an elite glove. He's going to be one of the best center fielders in baseball, one of the best defensive players in baseball, probably right away. He has great speed, knows how to run the bases, can hit decent. I think once his hitting talent does develop a little bit more, he's going to be one of the better players in baseball. But it's a guy who was a first-round pick by the Mets, traded in a big trade to get Javier Baez for half a season where the Mets didn't even make the playoffs. That trade, as a Mets fan, that trade still haunts me to this day, and was one of the worst things that happened to us in a long time. But even though Baez was good with us, so for me, for PCA, what are my expectations for him now that he is going to be called up? He was called up actually already today by the Cubs. Now that he is going to be playing every day for the Cubs, so my personal opinion is he's going to be a really good MLB player from the start. I think if the Cubs keep him up, I think he is going to be very, very good, and I think he's going to be a significant contributor. Now, the problem with PCA is you don't really know how long he's going to be playing every day. You don't know when Bellinger's coming back. You don't know if Bellinger's going to play a different position or PCA is, and you're going to keep them. The problem is Pete Armstrong, most of his value comes from how good he is in center field. The problem is so does Bellinger's. So you move either one of them, you're losing a lot of what makes them such a great player. So that's why I didn't think it made sense to re-sign Bellinger, and I didn't think he was a long-term piece of this team. I still don't think he is. I think he's going to opt out after this year and sign with some team on a long-term deal that needs a center fielder or a left-handed bat. So that's really what I think. But overall, for Pete Armstrong, I think if you're a Cubs fan, you kind of just have to hope that he plays great defense. I think that's a given. But he has an OPS around 720, 730, maybe an OPS plus of 102, 103, 104, just barely above league average. So I think that's really what you want to project with Pete Crow for his first few years. Just be a above league average hitter and a guy who can play great defense for your team. So that's really what I think his skill set is in. I think that's what his skill set is involved in. So if you're a Cubs fan, I think, again, that's what you're watching with Pete Crow. You're not watching how well he's going to hit, or not. I'd say, of course, you want him to hit well, but not. You're not going to be watching him trying to be a superstar. He's not going to be one of those big hitting lefty bats that just comes up right away and is a big part of your lineup. No, but he's going to be a really solid player. That's going to run the bases well. That's going to field well. That maybe lays down a bunt or two. Plays amazing defense. So that's really what you're watching with Pete Crow. But again, it is unfortunate for the Cubs that Bellinger just get hurt right when he was starting to heat up, and I think that's an unfortunate injury for them. But I also think it is a really good opportunity for the Cubs to see what they have in one of their top prospects in Pete Armstrong, a guy who is a future of this organization, who is one of their top prospects, has been for a long time. So I think that's really what you're excited about with the silver lining of this Bellinger injury. So that's really what I'm watching here, and that's really what I'm going to be seeing when I watch this guy. So now going to a little bit of a outlook for the Chicago Cubs. Now, so far in the season, the Cubs have been pretty well, I'd say. They're second in the NL Central, one game behind the Brewers for the lead, 15-9. If the season ended today, they would make the playoffs. They would be the top wild card team at 15-9. So that's a solid there. So a lot of it has to do, I think, that their pitching staff to me has been honestly pretty phenomenal. You've had bounce back seasons from a guy like Jameson Taillon. Shota Imanaga has been really good. Even without your ace in Justin Steele, I think that your team has been really good and your pitching staff has been really good, which is something that is a big positive because when you do get Steele back, it's going to be even better. For the pitching right now, with the guys that have made significant starts, they've all been pretty good. I mean, you have Jordan Wicks, who has a 4.70 ERA, not the best, but definitely not bad. And for a rookie, I think that's really good. Shota Imanaga, .84 ERA, which has been really great. Javier Assad, 2.11. Ben Brown, 3.72. Jameson Taillon, 1.69. Steele, even in his one start, was really solid. So I think right now, if you're a Cubs fan, you're really, really excited about this pitching. I mean, it's just been really, really good. It's been one of the biggest bright spots of your entire team so far. So that's what I'm watching if I'm a Cubs fan right now, just seeing if the pitching can continue playing like this, if it can continue performing like this, and just keeps this up, really. So if I'm a Cubs fan, that's what I'd be excited about for this future and for this season. The pitching has been a really, really big bright spot, even without their best one. So that's a really big positive. For the Cubs, you've had Nico Horner playing great. Michael Busch has been an amazing player since coming over from the Dodgers. Mike Tauchman has been surprisingly really, really good. Dansby Swanson hasn't been the best, but hasn't been horrible either. Miguel Amaya has been really solid at the catching position. You have Seiya Suzuki, who before he got hurt was doing outstanding. Ian Happ's doing his thing. Alexander Canario, in the little at-bats he did have, was doing really well. Bellinger, again, before he got hurt, was doing well. So the Cubs are having a lot of good things going for them right now. A lot of good pieces are performing. A lot of good players are doing well. So if I'm a Cubs fan, I'd be really excited about this and just really watching this team for this year and seeing how players perform and how they are doing. So yeah, that's really what I'm watching for them. I think they are a wild card level team. I think their pitching, when healthy, is one of the best in baseball currently. I think their lineup has a lot of good pieces, so I think this could be the year the Cubs get back into the playoffs and make their fan base happy. One of the better fan bases in all of MLB. So yeah, that's really what I'm watching, just seeing how the Cubs do perform down the stretch with all the injuries they've suffered now. Cody Bellinger, Justin Steele, Seiya Suzuki, kind of really hit hard by that injury bug, but you're hoping some of your depth guys and some of your prospects like Canario, like Beaker Armstrong, can fill in and do really well and help you out. Ben Brown as well, who I forgot in the pitching staff. So Cubs prospect depth is coming in handy right now, and it's been a big help for them. So hopefully the Cubs can continue doing really well, and just watching them down the stretch and seeing how they do perform. So yeah. That was the end of our third segment here. We'll be going to our fourth segment, which is talking about the Players Weekend returning for MLB. This is one of my favorite things in all of the sport. It is finally returning. I don't know why it ever was not here. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC. To access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
And we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fourth and final segment today, which is going to be talking about Players Weekend returning for baseball and just my overall thoughts on it and if I'm happy about it. So, yeah. All right. So it was announced today by Jesse Rogers, a ESPN staff writer, one of the most reliable people in the game, that MLB is bringing back Players Weekend in August, and it was then confirmed by MLB, who made some promos about it. So this is really exciting. I think this is one of the best things in all of baseball. It's something that is really, really exciting, and just something that is really fun. It went away during COVID and did not come back for some reason. I always loved it. It was always one of the highlights of the season for me. Baseball, as much as I am a diehard baseball fan, as much as baseball is my favorite sport, it's what I live and breathe. It does drag along sometimes, and it does kind of just get boring at some points. And I think activities like a players' weekend are something that is exciting and makes it better and makes it more entertaining. I mean, you have players showing their true colors, nicknames, playing with more action, playing better, and just, I think, kind of just revitalizes everyone. Baseball players have such a grind throughout the entire year that you get weekends like this and activities like this that kind of puts them back and remembers, we're older guys playing a kid's game for a living. Let's have some fun and let's do some great things. So I like these events a lot. I think it's a really good event for MLB, and I think they do a really good job with it. So for this year, it is day one of Players Weekend is going to feature their personalities, friendships, and other off-the-field interests. Day two will focus on their charitable causes, and day three will celebrate the people who help them on their path to the big leagues, including parents, coaches, and other mentors. This is all from the ESPN.com article, by the way, so if you want to check it out, go there. During the weekend, players will wear special new era caps featuring each player's uniform number on the side panel in a youthful design. According to the release, players will also be able to use customized bats during the game and can wear cleats with personalized designs as well. So this is something that I think is, again, really, really cool. They mentioned in the article, but this is something that gets younger people involved in the game. It gets them looking like, ooh, what is that? That looks cool. Let me watch this. Let me see what's going on in baseball right now, something they would maybe never do. Baseball does have an age problem. I think everyone knows that. Their audience is a little older than it needs to be. So the facts are, you do stuff like this, it gets a younger audience involved. It gets people who could be the future of baseball fans involved, and it's just overall is a great marketing opportunity for MLB. It's just a great job, and I think it's really cool. Again, I think it's cool about the charitable causes thing. First of all, I think that every player in baseball does have a charity that they do talk about a lot and donate some money to, and just kind of rep. I think, again, mostly every player does that. It's kind of just something you do once you get to the MLB. You want to help others in your position of power now. A lot of people didn't come from the best opportunities as children and best neighborhoods growing up. So when they do make it, or they do start making money in baseball, or they become popular, they want to raise awareness from people who aren't as fortunate as themselves. And I always think it's a great opportunity. I mean, a lot of athletes do this, so it's not something I'm saying that's totally out of the world, but it is something that is always good. And I think repping your charities is something that is going to give a lot of exposure to them and a lot of exposure to yourself as well. So I think that's a great idea. I love the part of them paying homage to people who got them to the big leagues, their parents, their friends, their family. I think that's really, really cool and just a great idea. It's not just the players themselves with their hard work who get there. It's other people involved, people who have helped them work hard to get there, people who have mentored them, played catch with them, and taught them baseball, watched baseball with them, taught them about the game when they were younger, got them into it. So I think so many different people help a person get to the big leagues and get to where they want to be at. So I think that's a great, great idea by MLB, and just a great job by them. I think, again, this is a great marketing opportunity, and just a overall great idea by themselves. By the way, Pete Armstrong, I'm seeing now, just hit a 2-run home run for the Cubs. So we had a whole segment dedicated to him, basically, and he just hit a 2-run home run. Sorry to interrupt like that, but pretty exciting, I'd say. We'll definitely be talking about that tomorrow, so that's something to look out for. But going back to the Players' Weekend, you see some of the data now. According to league data, the median age of ticket purchasers has dropped from 51 to 45 since 2019, while ticket buyers from ages 18 to 35 have increased by almost 10% during the same time frame. MLB is hoping that trend continues. So you see with things like this, like Players' Weekend, it helps market the game. It helps getting baseball to a bigger, more younger, more vibrant audience. nothing is wrong with older fans. Nothing is wrong with fans who have watched baseball for a long time. But you always want to get an influx of fans coming in. You want to get more streams of fans coming in, younger people to watch the game. So I think that is something that is really exciting for baseball fans and just fans of sports alike. Seeing baseball grow like this and just seeing the game get bigger and bigger and better and better. Activities like Players Weekend, gets more people involved, gets younger players involved, and gets younger people involved who want to be fans, and I think it's just a great idea. Now, the one nitpick I do have is they are not allowing nicknames on the back of the jerseys anymore, which is my favorite part of Players Weekend. I think that is crazy and an awful decision. It helped baseball so much. People would be talking about the nicknames on the jerseys. Even national media markets that mainly cover football and basketball will be talking about baseball because of the nicknames, and you'll get them more involved in the baseball season and what's going on. So I think having names on the back of your jersey was a great thing for baseball and just a really fun thing, and I don't know why they got rid of it. I think it's really just insane that they did, and I think it was a great idea. Some of my favorites from over the years, you had Shane Bieber, who had on the back of his jersey, not Justin, because of Justin Bieber, of course. That was one of the best. Rich Hill had an inappropriate one, but a very funny one. I'm sure you can look up what Rich Hill's nickname on his jersey was. Of course, you have the classics like Francisco Lindor, Mr. Smile, Javier Baez, El Mago. So there were so many great nicknames on the back of the jersey. They were so cool to buy, so cool to watch, and so cool to see in games. And just, again, brought a more younger audience to the table because you could see players' personalities more and you could see them getting marketed more. So I don't know why they got rid of it. I think it's an awful decision, and that's really my only critique about Players Weekend. I would have loved to see more. I remember now Brad Boxberger as well had on the back of his jersey the box and the burger emoji, which was extremely creative and great. I mean, it's just things like this that makes, you can see how much I remember it. You see how memorable it is as a thing in baseball. So I don't know why they got rid of that, and that is my only critique of Players Weekend. But overall, I think it's a great idea by MLB putting it back. I think the weekend itself is a great idea, and just overall was a good job by MLB to bring it back and get it back involved with baseball. So, yeah. So that was our show today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Press the notification bell to not only get notified when I upload, but when all the other great content creators on this channel do upload. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Wonderful, wonderful day. Beautiful day outside, so please enjoy it. NFL draft tonight as well. That's going to be really exciting for all sports fans. So, yeah. See you tomorrow, and we'll see what baseball throws at us. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet.